Serve time.
Sand King.
D's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Clockwork.
Radiant team pick.
Centaur War Runner.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Trailing 1-2 in the best of 5. They need 2 wins in a row, and should they pull it off, it would be a full, legit reverse all kill. I don't think we've ever seen that in the international.
So CIS goes to ban a Lich again.
Not a best of 5 anyway. There haven't been many best of 5s, but they banned the Lich again, like you mentioned. So Lycan, Lich, both removed. I do like the Lycan ban. It's a dire side Lycan. It's just annoying to play against. Smart ban. Sand King Clockwork, pretty early to be picking 2 melee initiators up.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, Sand King Clockwork is decent. I think Sand King Centaur is a little bit of a stronger opener, especially versus someone weak like AA. But see what they wanna do with that.
There's a distinct lack of axe this game.
10
Though I must say I
seconds-
don't think he
10
matches up well against Age
seconds
Apparition,
remaining.
but nonetheless, no axe. Me sad.
5 seconds remaining.
They could have just done the same thing. It was just mostly because of the.
Reserve time.
I don't think it's an X game.
No, I don't either. I'm just sad that it's not. Naga gets banned by CIS and LGD. They go for this Ancient Apparition Centaur opening. That is something that we've seen a lot out of DK in the previous version. Centaur a bit weaker, but it's a Radiant Centaur, and he's still a very strong initiator. What are we going to see from here? Dazzle gets removed by CIS, or sorry, by LGD. So that will be denied to CIS, who definitely need a range support here, going for a very early Sand King. Pretty much, chances of them going aggressive very low with this early Sand King pick, especially on dire side. So looking for the defensive challenge for them, and we'll see what LGD want to do.
Ain't gonna be I think CIS prefers it a little bit more than LGD.
I'm just surprised nobody's been picking heroes with dealing armor. There's been Dragon Knight in the game, a lot of damage over time heroes like Darkseer have been ignored, Twin-Headed Dragon's been ignored. It's not like she's not unstoppable. Like, there are ways to deal with living armor, and
yeah, but it forces them to pick heroes that they don't like to run. Well, apparently,
I think LGD should like to run DK.
10 seconds remaining.
yes, they should.
It's definitely to me an LGD hero, but they have. That's true. They haven't run it much lately.
5 seconds remaining.
Have they run Slark a lot? Because CIS keeps banning out Slark in the second.
Radiant team pick.
Well, he is annoying against living armor, as well as certain lineups. In terms of burst damage, CS actually have a lot. Ancient Apparition's normally pretty good, I would say.
So, OD ban immediate DK pick from LG. Looks like they're going back to tried and true. A lot of 5-man, a lot of team fight, a lot of Suns, and
10
a lot of
seconds
push.
remaining.
Yeah, more of your classic LGD draft. They are running
5 seconds
3 melee
remaining.
heroes so far, and Well, Centaur could have a very, very high impact game. We'll see.
Yeah, Dragon
Reserve time.
and sinking not your like. I guess definition of melee heroes.
Yeah, there's also Ancient Apparition. This draft is gonna clump generally for LGD, and I'd love to see CIS even think about like something like a faceless void witch doctor kind of combination. They'll go puck, so they leave their options open for carry, but they're getting a ton of AoE, ton of lockdown, puck.
Most teams don't like doing this. They don't like picking a puck into a Dragon Knight,
Yeah.
and even into a sinking. It's just so difficult to dodge either of those.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, maybe you beat Dragon Knight slightly before it's level 6, then it's level 6, and what do? You can't harass him out of lane, he'll chip away at your tower, you have to have backup from the team at that point.
10 seconds
Are we
remaining.
going to see black played again? Are they going to go back to the black puck?
Radiant team pick.
Maybe. I still think Black does way better in the silence than he does. And then Flame played a very solid mid last game, so it's not like they don't have another mid player.
Well, it doesn't have to be black on it, though. He did play it last time. We'll see what they want to do. Rubik picked up by LGD, so they get a fairly low damage support duo. Heroes that definitely want their levels early on. Not the best zoning supports,
10
but
seconds
if they're
remaining.
allowed that space, they get very scary later on, and it will be a very bad puck game if he doesn't snowball. And, well, it's going to be the Black
LGD's
Morphling
turn
now.
to
They're going to
ban.
change stage up. They won't run the puck for him this time around. And I do like this adjustment a lot.
I don't know why they picked Rubik. I think there's a lot of better supports than Rubik in this sort of situation. For example, I think Disruptor would have been really, really good for
10
them.
seconds remaining.
Rubik's Sega is so low on damage in the laning stage. And, like, how are you
5
going to zone out a
seconds
Centaur
remaining.
with those two? Just can't really do anything to him.
Yeah, unless they have like a really, really good.
Reserve time.
If they had like a
really good support.
gyrocopter or something, maybe they can burst him down. But what do LGD do for their kid? Do we see like the Pugna pick here? Do you think they go for a lot of early tower pressure?
I don't think so. I
Radiant
think
team ban.
CIS they have just super heavy AoE. If they get hit by an AOT into a coil, they're all dead. In our early push, so I think they can't really approach the brute force 5-man mid with pipe.
10 seconds remaining.
And that's generally like a very good way to deal with a Morphling is just push down all his towers and get farming space.
LGD's turn to pick.
Well, CIS are worried about the Pugna. K-Pugna is very scary.
Yeah.
Another one would be very good this game. Puck, Ancient Apparition. These heroes mana intensive, but it's also just what LGD like to run, I guess, more than anything. And CIS want to take them out of their comfort zone as well.
You could also go something like a Luna early.
Yeah, BKB carrier is probably ideal versus the
10
Morphling Shotgun
seconds
versus all the new
remaining.
damage. So, DK, Luna, gives you two cores they can build
5
BKBs
seconds
in.
remaining.
If there's one thing we know about LGD, Merlin, it's that they like to build BKBs. The Weaver.
We also know that
Radiant team
Rabbit
pick.
loves Weaver. Or does Rabbit play? Yeah, Rabbit
Yeah,
usually.
normal shot 2G on that.
This is one thing I don't like about LGD. They like going to heroes that like aren't ideal in this situation. Like Weaver's like, I don't even think Weaver's that great here. Centaur has a lot of burst. He has a long range stun that you can't link-ins. Puck also has everything that goes through link-ins, so he's forced to get a BKB this game. And they just have like so much
10
burst that's going to be
seconds
difficult to time
remaining.
us unless you play the Weaver perfectly. But then again, Rabbit plays a pretty nasty Weaver.
And it's looks which has been very boomer bust as a support. We've seen a few times where Skyrath has gone off as support. Does give you one of the best silences in game against a Weaver. That's nice to have. But we have also seen a lot of games where support Skyrath made for a feed lord mode and just rack up 10, 15 deaths before the game's over. So, what kind of Skyrath mage game do you think it's going to be, Ben? Trophy. Oh, no.
He is okay versus Clockwork. You can just dump the ulti on his cogs and decent counter initiate. But
Prepare for
other
battle.
than that, yeah, his Ancient Seal is going to be good against Weaver. But Weaver's going to get a BKB anyways this game, which Skyrath is terrible against. And maybe they can roam mid on the DK. It's like decent as a roamer with level 1 conk shot. Yeah, no aggressive.
Especially like an Ancient Apparition to follow him up potentially, or Puck's a fairly aggressive mid, I suppose.
It's just no anti-BKB, which is really, really sad.
That's a good point. No,
And-
the anti-BKB will be black getting 6 slotted. That's gonna be the game player for CIS, I think. Not the best strategy against BKB, but well, we'll introduce the teams now. On the Radiant side, they're only 1-2 in the best of 5. They found a pulse in Game 3 with the Axe pick, and they'll go for something else unconventional here. It's June, your offlane Centaur, starting with the boots
30
first, and the safe lane,
seconds
go
to
Demon, the niche. Skyeth made a pull in flame, and will be handling the puck, headed bottom at least for now, although he has been pulled quite a bit of region. We'll see IO on the HF version. No smokes picked up, I believe. Black as your solo mid Morphling. So they go defensive trialing, and on the Dire side, you've got Team LGD. DD on that support. Sandkane, or DDC. I wanted to say Taobao. DDC on that support. Rubik, Shao Tuji, Rabbit.
The
will play
battle begins.
Weave and headed towards the top lane. He checks the top rune real quickly. Lin on the solo mid DK, and last but certainly not least, Xiao going for some cog blocking shenanigans as the off lane Clockworks.
So they decided to put Morphling in the mid lane instead of the puck, which I'm not terribly sure why. I think they can actually zone out a Clockwork decently. 2 range heroes, so they're not a terrible risk of getting caught and trapped by battery assault. Sky made speed, so just harass them all day long. It's much better for the Morphling to have safe lane. Black, and a little bit of pressure. DD is sitting there with an invis. Black does not have waveform since he is only level 1.
I think even strength morphs enough to get out of here. It's more just like you'll lose by your region. Your bottle will be delayed.
It's just so inefficient cast level 1.
Yeah.
Outside of Fountain.
We'll go with the Burrow Strike, and already struggling the strength. Take Dragon Tail as well. It's not the fastest. There's his entire mana pool. Lane just got hard for Black. There's a wraparound bottom lane, meanwhile. As Ancient Apparition rotates in, he's going through the trees, he eats a tree to prevent the cog blocking, but already the creeps at the top, so Yao's already got what he came for.
He's still trying to put pressure on mid.
Oh, lane Sand King Dragon in mid,
Black
apparently.
still doesn't have waveform, so.
Yeah, he's not having fun. And Sand King can't do too much anymore. He's out of mana. They'll rotate the supports in, but hey, DK's gonna have a early bottle, and Black going for a fairly common build for your solo mid Morpheus spec, which is the Wraith Band, but this means it'll be a very slow buff for him.
Yeah, only problem is, yeah, DD can't really do anything with this. He's just forced to stack, and he won't be able to move around for like a minute. Is there a D ward on bottom?
I'm not sure if there's a D ward. I know he dropped a sentry earlier.
So
I don't know if he dropped a ward though. Yeah, I didn't actually see. They are stacking the neutrals like you mentioned. Actually, both big camps getting stacked on the right side.
Fail.
No? Didn't get it?
Stack.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't see him actually go for it, so it must have been slightly off on the timing there, but all things considered, Black picking up the farm after that slow start. He's 6-1 to 8-4K. Fever free farming, Puck close to free farming, and Centaur might get caught top lane, be lifted up, drop back down to a Burrow Strike. He does have a stomp of elbow. He'll get the dump off, but it doesn't connect the Shao Tuji, and that will be the first blood.
That kills
the
steal.
double zap from DDC. Secured. Meanwhile, mid lane, the rotation here as well, as we see Sky the Mage lunging in. Just kidding. Only a concussive shot.
Morphling's too tanky. Like, this just slows not enough. They need something else to set up as a just as slow.
Yeah, DK is very hard to kill. But Black will get his bottle now, and he should be able to catch up nicely in this matchup. Especially once you get a few levels, you can just... You might be under harassment from the Breathe Fire Spin, but you can always last it effectively with fairly heavy agi morph. So I expect Black will quickly come back after the slow start.
Yeah, and there's like almost no way he can just point out of everything. There's no way to catch him after he waveforms.
It's actually a slight concern for LGD is... If Morph gets ahead, right now he's not, but if he ever does, they have tons of lockdown, but they have very little burst. And and nothing to stop him from strength morphing. No natural hex carriers unless Rubik farms one, so... It is a game where Morphling could excel, though not off to the hot start.
Yeah, I think that LGD needs to just concentrate on killing the other heroes a lot, namely Skywrath, try and kill Centaur before he... They've already done a very good job of zoning out June 1-0, only level 2.5 this early on in the game. And the two supports are sitting mid on CIS. I'm not exactly sure why, because DK is just so incredibly difficult. Anyways, and they should just be stacking and pulling so that Morphling get...
It's Sky Mage and Chapter, and they need levels of their own. Do not want to be walking around with a Sky Mage just level 2. It's not Shadman. Not that he wants to be level 2 either, but more so as should deem. So we'll be going aggressive here on now, who I believe is out mana. He gets nuked again, but not enough for the kill. Keeps a right click, keeps on dying. This one, the HF version's coming as well. Are they really committed to it? Oh, they'll cancel that out. They force that out. And Clock back to base, and they want to push this bottom tower, but it's just not the best pushing tri-lane.
I'm not sure what these two supports are aiming to do in this early.
And now they're going to be tanking or shot. His teammates casually comes through, gets his clarity cancelled.
Excellent.
Dyer's
They
bottom
even have a random
tower
Basilius
is
on
under
Inflame? I
attack.
don't believe so. No, this is
Dyer's structures are fortified.
this is not good pushing tri-lane.
It really isn't. And Infinite is still level 1, 5 minutes into the game. He's not even level, like,
Is it already 5 minutes? Wow, they're off to a slow start.
they've been like, trying to kill DK mid, which is not happening, trying to chase this clockwork around his T2, which is also not happening, so I don't know why they just aren't playing greedy and getting some levels.
And concerned is that LGD are playing greed. They've been stacking their own jungle pretty consistently, and Sandstorm is going to catch right up. He even missed a stack, but it's still a trip now, and I believe has the level 2. Sandstorm DD does. They've also got another triple, or maybe, is that a quad? I think that's no, it's a triple. So double, triple stacks, and they are too far behind to really contest these. And for CIS, they don't have great comeback mechanics. Centaur probably their best at farming stacks, but he's only level 3, so Sandkin's gonna have an easier time that than him.
But they do a better lane than more.
Gotta get there. That's the main concern, is weathering the mid-game storm that's coming, which will be the Sandkin Link Dagger, the Dragon Knight, BKB, and Rubik and Clockwork just getting their levels up. Maybe 9 o'clock. Is that a Mice for the Weaver? I believe it is. Yeah. Midas coming for Shao-Tuji, so, well, he'll be off to a hotter start here than Black, though. We've seen Black this position before, and he has mounted comebacks.
They're getting just massive farm in their own jungle, and what level is AA? Please don't tell me he's level 1. No, he is on level 2.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, they've secured bot safe lane for Puck, and I guess he has equal CS to the Morphling, so it wouldn't really matter which lane the Morphling is in. Actually, a lot more experience in the mid. But Puck is level 6 on bottom. Might go for a kill here.
Dyer's bottom
Meow
tower
as they
is
push
under
this tower.
attack.
No glyph up.
Really nice position from Meow, although right as I say that, I think he might fall in a bit too far. Out comes Io. It's really long way if they do have the coil. And it looks like he'll break the coil, securing his own demise. Meanwhile, top, the Centaur also fell. This was to 4 heroes. Zlin
Dyer's
rotates
middle
in.
tower
The
is under
difference
attack.
is that with Dragon Knight, LGD are threatening tower, whereas CIS are almost dead and definitely not going to take
Radiant's
one. In
top
fact, they will
tower
take
is
tower.
under
This is not
attack.
defensible.
This guy Raz Silence was
Radiant
very useful with
structures
Clark,
are fortified.
so he couldn't cog. They chased him pretty darn far. The 1-1-1
Radiant's top tower
coming out
is
from the
under attack.
1-1-2 now.
That Dragon Knight pick, man. Well, towers are going to melt. And what do you do,
Dyer's
CIS?
middle
Who's going to defend your
tower
towers?
is under
It's the
attack.
Puck, it's Blink. Centaur
Radiant's top tower is under
can't fill
attack.
up. Like, normally offlane Centaur, even if they feed, get their levels. And
Radiant's
June
top
is,
tower
he's
has
not
fallen.
terribly far behind. He's level 4, but he's not doing particularly well. It's Radiant offlane Centaur, too. I think the Clockwork's actually ahead of him. Yeah, he's already level 5.
The Puck will be very close to his Blink Dagger, but Centaur, as you said, very, very far away. How's Sand King doing? Pulling a little bit. Or just...
He's going to blink at the same time as the Safe Flame Puck,
Yeah,
practically.
That's really good farm.
And remember,
LGD.
he came mid, he secured the Morphling's farm, he got them the first blood top, or he secured the DK's farm versus Morphling, and he got the first blood top lane. I think they tried to go in on the over here, and they'll actually get a kill with the Scarth Mage Silence. Very nicely done. Oh, this is just Tuji not being used to playing against Weaver, or against Scarth Mage, I feel.
Gotta respect it, man.
That silence is devastating.
Yeah, 4 second. It's really low range, though, so he shouldn't actually be able to get all these off.
Backwash.
Well, once you get the silence off, like, this is before they come online, too, Ben. They don't have Blink Dagger and Puck, they don't have Blink Dagger and Centaur. They're about to get one. Weaver and Midas, once he gets Link, it's in okay shape, but there's this mid-game window
just
where
needs-
he's such food.
He just screws. I think screw to Lincoln's and
BKB?
BKB, yeah. Way better versus Puck, way better versus Centaur.
Radiant did you put a rune on the top river? Looks like, well, yeah, taking some speed damage, pull back off. There was a ward at the top rune which got de-warded, so pretty nice them. We'll secure the vision here, and Black is caught up. He's 50 CS to the 53 of the Weaver, so the death are really hurting him, and I'll just go for Midas of Zone. Doesn't look like it.
And Lin is not getting that farm on a DK. He has like half the CS of Morph, who's just been parked mid all day. Not sure if he's going to go for Midas. This looks like just an Aquila treads out for Black.
This is one of those games to me where he could quickly fall apart in terms of mid-game farm. Like, you look at these heroes, Dragon Knight, Clockwork, Sand King, Rubik, they generally get their first guide and just start fighting. If they don't take a lot of kills and objectives on the back of that, Black will eventually carry the game. So they gotta be careful to balance their farm and gank early on, I would say. And they're going to go for that first gank now. 3 heroes grouped up on the dire side, and simultaneously CIS smoking as well. So both teams converging on the bottom lane, though I think LGD will be edge here with that Sand King Blink Dagger. Not yet been sputted out by CIS,
Dire's
and he's in
middle
prime
tower is
position to
under
fight.
attack.
Meanwhile, Black applying some pressure mid. He'll see nobody's defending this tower. Weaver will TP in to try and avoid giving up the gank, and now bottom lane, they find the Centaur. They go in on June, they'll get the Centaur kill. Well, it was pretty hard to dodge that one. Well, is he actually going in here? He gets silenced by the puck. Should be okay.
Radiant's bottom tower
I like
is
that move
under
out too, though.
attack.
TP defend, so it's not such an obvious smoke gank, and CIS just get caught off guard.
AOT back home narrowly does a gank as Sand King
Dire's
scouts
middle tower
into
is under
the
attack.
forest, and with a big knife pick, another tower will fall on the
Radiant's
back of a
bottom
gank. But
tower
Rabbit
is
deep
under
mid,
attack.
blackout.
Wait for out to safety, but not taking the tower. That's
Radiant's bottom tower
for LGD.
has fallen.
They've now taken 2-0. And with that, the gold should be headed their way in terms of farm. They've kept up overall, and in fact, they do lead by about 3k gold. They got the first blood, they got the first 2 towers, and well, CIS, this is the tough times for Inflame could get caught out bottom lane. D's gonna go in with a burrow strike here, I believe. He starts. Blinks, burrows it instantly, then no lift is there, and the puck will fall. Well executing.
Still, they haven't killed Morphling. Morphling 0-0-0. Probably one of your better scores is Morphling 11 minutes in the game, and he will get that mid tower sooner or later. 314 HP on that, and LGD, I think they need to try and take on this mid. That tower is going to be extremely difficult to kill, especially when AA hits level 6, but AA level 4.
Well, those early movements from the supports have really hurt them, as DDC steals a waveform. Big spell to pick up. That is a lot of burst damage for a little Rubik. Plus some good defensive capabilities, and, well, no concern is just this Centaur pick. He's been shut down early, he doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, he is working towards one. And the nice thing about Centaur is you can come back. You can Blink, you still have to be relevant to the team, and a nice stomp is a nice stomp, regardless of your overall farm, but they'll smoke now just out of vision of this Dire Observer, where they might find the opening. You know, not the ideal target, and they'll wrap around. They not actually believe they spot him there, but either way, they want somebody else easier to kill, and ideally a more prim target, and that would be D if they can find him. Smokes revealed, they see him now, they started with the puck hunts. Now he's slowed up, the coil gonna connect as well. D will fall.
To dust.
So yeah, finding those pickoffs.
Not even. Plus, I think he spent all his gold right before buying the arcane boots. So yeah, they get a kill, but it cost them a smoke, and they're not killing any important heroes. I say Dragon Knight and Weaver the most important on team. Dragon Knight doesn't even have his Lunar Club though. He is just so poor, even though they've gotten 2 towers.
Yeah, he's pretty poor. He also, like, the early movements, you can see the advantage, the towers, but the downside, well, lifted mid, but can't quite go black here. In fact, he's going to wave up as he replicates back towards the base.
Easy morph steal.
That's kind of ideal. You steal the morph, you go to max strength, and forget about your agility.
Tower is under attack.
Comes out on top on Centaur, and that will delay his Blink Dagger even further.
What a rough game for the Centaur.
Oh,
Has found Io, and, well, he just melts to... Now will be caught in the cold feet. It's like, now the... No. Still the morph stolen, but still going black. He's straight to morphing. He's straight to morphing. They can't quite kill him off, though. He's dropping lower and lower. He'll wave up to the high ground, but they maintain vision of this one with the hasted Dragon Knight chasing him, and they've got the swarm on him in black. Play to default in the field, and indeed he will go down. That's the key here to lose. Now, a rainbow of TPs coming mid, but Inflamed gets it by the cogs once. Can't get find an opening, and with those well-positioned cogs by everybody gets out. In fact, they're going back in. They jump right in. They try to focus on that lucky face shift, but it's only the one. He can't make his way out. If they've lost 3, this could be more. Coil was deployed.
Radiant's middle
Big
tower
last double edge,
has
and they're not
fallen.
done just yet. Pacing Jude, Shaltuji going ham. He'll find that last auto attack. He gets the kill as well. It's a triple kill for the Weaver, up to 3,000 gold, and they'll take the tier 1 mid.
What a disaster.
What a
They lost Centaur twice before his Blink Dagger. Twice. Oh no. Oh no.
How many
CIS.
total? I think he has
Radiant's
4
middle
total
tower
deaths
is
now.
under
Is that
attack.
correct?
I believe so.
5 total.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
That's really pivotal. And on top of that, they lost Morphling, most important hero for CIS. So GD making really good use of the Dragon Knight pick, and I think CIS can just, if they had a ultimate fights a lot different, but he's still really struggling for levels, and that's where a lot of the early game decision to roam with the Skywrath just didn't pan
Dire's
out.
middle tower is under attack.
And now they're getting punished for it. So
Dire's
CIS, they
structures
just
are
need to defend with
fortified.
Puck and hope that he doesn't get caught out. Just try and Dream Coil, or sorry, not Dream Coil, Allure Orbs, and try and stall the push as long as possible, but not actually fight until you get your items, until you get your levels. They just need the Centaur burst combo with AA, and then they actually pick one up immediately at the start of the fight before LGD.
You know, something you mentioned earlier, which I think holds in this game as well, is that LGD just does not give up the towers. They've glyphed to the defend mid this time, and they defended it previously, and that's very important against Black's Morphling. Like, you give them that one tower, you got a little more room to roam and can start pressuring other lanes. Your tier 1 mid down, they can go for more aggressive ganks, but they're not giving those towers up. Does Drew not blink yet? Because he's getting ganked. Oh, still short. He can't die again. I feel like that. Then another death before Blake is just a nail in the coffin almost.
Oh well, Lin just completely revealed their smoke by breathe firing.
And right-clicking the critical good measure. And not. They'll
So-
just. I don't think they need to be sneaky. It's nice if they get those kills, but they can.
Radiant's bottom tower
Black might
is
get the
under
mid tower
attack.
as a result.
Meanwhile, D-Lurking trees. He's in position here for an epicenter. If they get a couple kills in the tier 2, it's over. But let's see if they can find the openings in Flame. We're being to slow down the wave, blink out. But Black is approaching the tower, as you mentioned. The 22 on gold, still the Sand King in position.
Radiant's
Bottom lane
bottom
has not found the
tower is
openings
under
just yet, but
attack.
he might.
They want to go
Radiant
now. Now that
structures are fortified.
We've shown himself mid,
Dire's
so
top
LGD has to be
tower is under
extremely
attack.
careful not to take 4 on 5 here.
Well,
At least
Sand
without
King
it.
can be that
Radiant's
hero.
bottom
He
tower
can turn this
is
one
under
around if they
attack.
find the openings. It is daytime now. They've got vision, and the center has been channeled. He's gonna go in. He finds one. He burrows just directed. Demons, they'll just a kill with mage kill.
Radiant's
No
bottom
rotation from the
tower
Morphling
has
just yet. Then the
fallen.
center in, but June yet to get off his combo. There you go. The coil's gonna come out. Double connects well. DC dropping low, but not dead just yet. Another burrow strike. Rubik will shatter. Then a hook shot forward onto Inflame. Lose the puck. Early phase shift. Waveform over the top. It's just not enough. The neck gets to be now Black on the run. He does have a replicate online. It's heading one direction with crits, while his hero heads the other way. He'll probably be forced to replicate out momentarily. Actually, mana does have stick charges. Courier. That's got his ultimate orb. He can't afford to die here, and he's sending the illusion mid. I like this from Black. He'll try to go heal at the base and then immediately take the tier 1 mid, as we see the replicate just hiding behind the tower. So at least cut wave, do whatever you can,
Dire's
slow down the
middle tower
aggression.
is under attack.
And Morphling, yeah, he has a lot of CS, but he's still pretty hard. Treads Aquila and an ultimate orb in 17 minutes time, but are they going to defend? Are they going to replicate to this? Illusion's about to die, and no, he will not get it. So again, LGD with the defense, they take it on 5 with Rat defending mid. So I mean, that's just nice play from them, not giving Black any quarter.
Another BKB on Dragon Knight. He was farming well, but hey, you take this many towers, already 4 towers down, you'll get it. Anyway, and he's got 9 assists. He's been involved in every single tower push, even though his farm has been pretty subpar. I like the way they've used it, just classic LGD. 4-man the towers, shot 2G farms. Occasionally he hits the fight when the timing's right, and you just take one of the fights, you take mass objectives, and you just roll over your opponent before they ever have a chance to come online. That's the game plan. They're not there yet, but they are getting closer.
And Centaur does have his Blink Dagger to try to get picked on
Radiant's
the back
middle
of that
tower
with a
is under
smoke
attack.
tower top exposed, but at the same time, mid T2 getting rocked, LGD.
Dire's
And the
top
push will
tower
come
is
in.
under
The Dragon Knight
attack.
not here yet. He's walking down
Radiant's
mid lane.
middle
There's a
tower
double
is under
damager on top.
attack.
But CIS will go for the trade. The tower drops low top lane. We'll probably get it. It's a tier 1 for a tier 2. Not the best trade on paper, but
Dire's top
honestly-
He
tower
doesn't
has
care about the
fallen.
jungle. 'Cause they
Radiant's
don't have a
middle
farmer.
tower has fallen.
that's true. Weaver's got Lincolns. Do they high ground now? They at least want to
Radiant's
force the
middle
more. I
tower
don't know if
is
they
under
fully
attack.
commit to this. There's still a tier 2 up to farm. There's still Roshan to take, but hey, maybe they just want to go now. Can CIS defend against Centaur? Did he ever get his Blink Dagger?
Yeah, he has
Okay. So they may at least go in
So
for that.
half damage on tower this early, that's pretty darn good. And they finally forced them to rotate away from the top lane, so it's like 1.5 tower LGD and 1 rather important tower for CIS, but as I said, Rabbit and the rest of LGD, they're not going to anymore. They did it in their early game when they needed to, but now they're just constantly pressuring CIS, making sure they can't split push, making that they actually have to think about or worry about and TP back to the defense.
at the wards they drop. These wards in the safe lane, the one about to expire near the rune, but these diodes are so good for picking off supports, and it's LGD, you know they want to go smoking. As I say that, CIS will D-ward one. That is a very important D-ward. You don't want to let LG have that vision, because they're a team, like, they see you, they're not just going to go farm, they'll find one kill, and then they'll get an objective, be it Roche or be it a tier 3 mid, so... Still, there's one Overward in another position up on the hill where he could find those pickoffs.
The Dragon Knight, Dragon Knight, Luton gets T1 farm. I think you just take it down. Who cares against the Knight, because that means LGD has a chance of getting Roshan. I mean, they can't exert as much pressure on mid T3, and he's not really using that much aggressively, unfortunately. Well,
LG, looks like they want to access to lane here. They start stacking the Ancients, probably for the Dragon Knight, and well, they've got themselves I think that's triple stacked, so they have decent game. It's not like they have to win now. They'd love to win in the, I'd say in the 10 to 15 minutes spent. Would you agree about that time window?
I think before more playing second item, so whatever that is, you'll have Lincoln soon, but Lincoln's doesn't really do from old block of DK stuff. They can't kill him anyways. I say they need to take down T at least with the second. Or at least, if they take out Roshan in the next 10 minutes.
They're going with a Burrow on black bottom lane. The Swarm will follow this one up. I don't know if they have enough to lock him down here. Quick is looking for... This could be a potential kill. Will the hook fly? It will indeed. Goes on the back. He gets pushed back by the cog. They just keep bringing him down.
Top tower is under attack.
Oh, that Morphling. As mentioned, they have a lot of... do not have enough burst.
Yeah.
Still, though, they force the lane and they'll take the tier 2.
In Sky's time,
Radiant structures are fortified.
it's like... I think
Radiant's
it's pretty
top
much over.
tower is under attack.
KB bunch
Dire's
of Knight,
bottom
everyone's
tower is
tanky.
under attack.
The silence not useful against
Radiant's
more
top
or
tower
Weaver with the
has
Lincoln Sphere
fallen.
particularly. I would Epicenter bottom lane, I believe, where it was thrown out. Indeed, it was. They find out. Was that just a solo kill? Weaver was only there at the very end.
Yeah,
that's a level 2 epi.
Tower was destroying him too.
He does have a rough game.
He even that cloak and he just got obliterated. Well, can't access now up for GD. The only they have really stopped Ancient Apparition. Or maybe it could. But Puck's been struggling to in lane. Puck 1-3-3. Just he didn't really have too many early levels spaceship because he was in a tri-lane and died many times after fishing.
I feel like the damn secret of this game, one thing has been the experience of LG's support. Movements have been crisper, their efficiency has been higher, and they've just done more for the first 20 minutes.
They know when to get killed, when to play greedy, when behind their boards or behind their carries, and where and when. Ward 2. Look at CIS where they play 4 wards around the map, and yet they still have no clue that they're doing rude.
Yeah, and getting near Roche is just so dangerous at this point. But it all even connects those early movements where they kept on trying to force the issue bottom.
No, Roshan's up. They know they're doing it. Ancient Apparition. He does have his ultimate up.
And Flame's coming. He's got the Blink Dagger online, but Yao's gonna reveal the smoke. Hits it, and looking. Hoping he's gonna orb in. Now they've bladed a few in the cups, and over the top comes the Burrow Strike. The ult comes down from the made. Simply not enough damage as of yet. 1 for 2 and looking for more. Demons goes for the TP, but Shatuji says, nah, not like that. And now they've caught in Flame. It'll be another Burrow Strike, another kill. 4 heroes dead, and
that's brutal.
Roche still alive, but soon to be finished off by LGD.
That's a really difficult engage from CIS with LGDs perching the waiting for them. That was just very nice hook shot coming out from Yao, and then the bleed mail. They didn't really know what to do. Skyrat ultims, Skyrat would die, and I mean they have a mech on it.
Your shaman has fallen to the Dire.
Getting shivers there, huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what they decide to take that fight. I don't really think they have to because Morphling is still number 1 on the last hit chart. But if he's not going to be at that fight, there's no reason for them to be there. I think it's much better for them to, like, let's say, replicate a Centaur, or replicate a Centaur or a Puck, probably Centaur because he's more tanky, and then walk him in there, and then get Vision of the Roche, and then make an educated decision there. And, like, kind of walk the name for the best.
Here comes that Sand King Vanguard.
Oh my goodness. And he'll immediately get punished for this. Get a veil, man. Get a baby.
Mott was just circling it.
Oh,
hey Merlini, look at this.
Why?
Well, Shatuji gets the Deso, and this is where I was Dragon Knight as well as Weaver. You could just start quickly bring down the tier 3 mid.
He's so fat the Weaver. I mean, Rabbit, like, Weaver's not that great of a hero here, but he's just always gets ridiculously farmed.
Yeah, the team his supports created a lot of space for him, and the Centaur just couldn't do anything after the first few minutes.
Look at this. Net worth 14,000, and he has less CS than the Morphling right now.
Well, they do have a 6 to 5 tap advantage and a Roche, so it's substantial.
And Midas.
That's true. Sun comes out on, and then it's like, well, what's the follow-up here? He just keeps on blinking away. Well, not even blinking. He's chunking the tower down. And so too is the Dragon Knight, standing strong in the front lines, land on the low ground.
That's kind of cool.
And then replicates the Dragon Knight. Just a really annoying play from LG. And now Shuji comes back up. Dragon Knight. He's opening. They try to isolate two here. It's the Centaur Leech Apparition, both of whom are on the retreat. Lin, BKB is still out, but the ultimate form has ended as June look to make an escape. The coil will break. Yao still has a hook shot. Will he let it fly? He airballs it. Just waits a bit too long. Centaur brings away freedom.
Middle tower
And
has fallen.
Tier 3 fall. LGD not afraid. Shout Duty says, this is our time, guys. We can secure that trip to TI. He'll focus on the range tracks while Lin nearly wants to think better of it. Goes for the range as well, and they'll at least that. They may be back now, though. Look, Stomp will come. The Skywrath Ridge ultimate actually does a bit of work. Eps are connecting. The only secured one kill, but now looking for more. June will be next on the list, and LGD leading 20 to 8, 26 minutes are on the cusp, on the verge of going back to International and looking for sweet revenge after the way last year ended. They've taken one lane of Rax. They haven't done it yet, but Merlini, they are. Well, looking at that net worth, very close.
Yeah, Black. I mean, he might have his EB by the time they push the second T3, but it's just not enough farm on Black.
Double damage.
And I mean, the sport just haven't really done that much. Skywrath. They have Aegises on at this point. They have a 4-step on Sand King. They have a mech on Clockwork. They have a on him. So only I mean, there's no heroes that are on wild. I was about to say Rubik, but he's more, and he has no field. Three field in that.
Jeez, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
There's no easy shotgun. Sand King's not even easy. Van or something. Like, what do you do? You can't shotgun anyone. You're not winning a base race against and a Weaver with Escalator. It's CIS to just mostly LGD to make mistakes, and then for CIS to outplay them heavily as well. And that might not happen now as Black gets lifted up mid. There is some counter initiation here. No, Rubik able to get off the stun in the nick of time. Then June forced to retreat out. Weaver giving chase. They've already used Stampede defensively. And it's been stolen too, I believe. And Needed has the chases on. The dream is real for DDC. Nice. Scarth Rage ultimate, but he finds the kill in the center. There start things off now. Weaver buying back at first. Death will go for round 2, chasing after Io. Trying to find the kill. The connects, and Io, well, one click would bring him down. Looks like he will fall. That's 3 hero dead, and they might just go for the win. There's no bottom tower. No tier 2. The lift up another. DD keeps on delivering. I should say that's a triple kill for Xiao Tuji. The end times are nigh, and Black is flying to the enemy tier 3 towers. He knows it's pretty much over. He'll try and cut the way, but they've already got some creeps in the base mid lane. They'll go for the bottom lane of Rax at any moment now. CIS will be tapping out, and LGD will be back on their way to Seattle, this time for the biggest ever prize pool in international history. Black, this last one here, he'll still be going, but it will be as a wildcard team. They continue to give up kill after kill after kill. LG just diving, they fear nothing at this point. They should probably take the rack and play this safe, but either way, it's pretty much insurmountable as now, Burrow straight in for D. That won't connect, and Rabbit continues to push forward. CIS, the base is opening. They're not. They're going to lose Black here as well. In comes DC. He gets on the stop. What a great Rubik performance this game. And now they'll finish. And at long last, Black will call it. They had a nice game 3, but in the end, LGD is the more solid team. Take game 4. They're going to Seattle.
LGD
Well played by
victory.
the support. I think the big difference, as you said, was the support play, and even the support picks. I didn't think that Rubik was that great of a pick here, but I mean, he played him very well. Stole Stomp, Stampede, Stomp again, and Morph, Waveform was just ridiculous.
The Skywrath Mage pick on paper seemed like, oh yeah, it's nice against Weaver, but they just gave Weaver so much fun that by the time Skywrath Mage had a presence, there's our Lincoln on Weaver.
They also just not gonna happen.